So, comedies, right? Oh, just the best.
This is an unhinged episode.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
There's no hinges on this one.
Guys?
Yes?
Oh, sorry. Hey.
I didn't know you were looking for us.
Is that Scooby-Doo and Shaggy? Because I'm in the Matrix right now, guys. And all I can see is darkness, to be honest with you. Hey, folks, what's up?
Yep.
Today we're talking about the best movies from the year 1999.
We're living the Vida Loca.
It is 20 years ago.
So let's just get right in because
There's a lot.
there's a lot of movies.
1999 considered maybe one of the best movie years of all time. I mean, I know there's
is.
a few, but
Yeah.
this is one of the ones that gets mentioned a lot as well. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Many
And luckily we were all alive for it. So
You guys were youngins.
yeah, I was a baby. I wasn't a baby actually. I was a child.
What do you call a 6-year-old?
Toddler.
Toddler?
Definitely
Yeah,
a
toddler.
baby.
All
Definitely
right.
a baby.
And I was the only one that was a teenager that could fully understand and appreciate all the teenage rom-coms.
I mean, I bet you were a fan of American Pie.
Oh man, American Pie was, it was something else. There's no other way to describe it. We'll talk about real quick about ones we aren't our favorites,
Okay.
but we'll just like throw them out there. So for example, you got Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. You got Boondock Saints.
It's like something you'll see on a college wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bringing Out the Dead, which is a great Martin Scorsese movie about an ambulance driver. You got Cider House Rules.
It does. Cider House rules.
Yeah! Cider House Rules!
Pumped about it.
Cruel Intentions, Deep Blue Sea, Detroit Rock City, Dogma,
Yep.
That's solid, yeah, I like it.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Can't hate that one.
It's just a beautiful film. It's
It's
just
a-
all around a great film. You got Ed TV.
I mean,
As you know, me and JD.
We could talk about Ed TV this entire episode, but we won't. We
We're
won't.
gonna hold off. You got Eyes Wide Shut. Great last Kubrick film.
this?
Oh no. No. You got Girl Interrupted. You got Go. You got The Green Mile. You got Idle Hands.
One of my all-time favorite Halloween movies.
Yeah. You got Jawbreaker, a great cult classic.
Yep.
Good candy.
What's happening?
Never Been Kissed. Mystery Men. And then, of course, the most popular two movies of 1999, Lake Placid and Wild Wild West.
I know that I joked that I could talk about Ed TV for a whole episode. I could talk about Wild Wild West for at least 3 episodes. One of those episodes would be dedicated to the Burger King toys.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Burger King memorabilia.
The Lake Placid Burger King toys.
Yeah.
I got 2 comedies. So, comedies, right? Oh, just the best.
This is an unhinged episode.
I don't know what's happening.
There's no hinges on this one. Office Space is probably a movie I've seen more times than anything, any movie. It basically takes office work and pokes fun at it. Like it was the first one, like not one of the first ones, but it did it the most accurate way. Once I started working in a big company, there's certain things that I saw that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Bill Lumberg. I'm Ron Livingston. That's the Milton guy.
How dare you give yourself Ron? That's just American Beauty's pretentious. No, giving yourself Ron Livingston's character is pretentious.
Everyone can relate to this movie if you've ever worked in any job ever.
And I think it kind of brought back like dry comedy.
It did.
Just, like
Yeah.
everything's so outrageous in the 90s, and then it's like
This is very
let's pull it back
quiet.
a little bit.
Because it's about the mundane, but also you have these people that are just very peculiar. You know that person, but also that characterization is like,
Does exist, yeah.
It's very strange.
it's weird, but it's real.
I think that was the first time like I'd seen a movie that took like a movie that you'd think would have one soundtrack and then just be like, nah.
Let's do the opposite. And then speaking of soundtracks, I got another one. The South Park movie, or I like to call it South Park musical. They made it in like the 2nd season, and they thought that they were going to get canceled. And so they're like, let's just make a bunch of songs and poke fun at Les Miserables and Aladdin and all these other musicals. And it turns out to be a great musical, like in general. And it's also hilarious. And it got nominated for an Oscar for Best Song, and it lost to Tarzan.
So for me, being a child in the 90s, I really connected with The Iron Giant, and I still do. I saw it a re-release in theaters a few years ago. Holds up. But no, this is a great movie. It's like in my opinion, it's one of the most underrated animated movies of all time. I don't know, it's just such a cool movie. And it's emotional, and
It's very sad.
That's a good one for me. Shout out to Vin Diesel. I know he's a viewer.
Miss you, bud.
Thanks,
Hey.
man. Come visit soon, please. There's so many good ones, but I gotta go with Galaxy Quest. I mean, this movie isn't only one of the best comedies ever made to me, it's one of the best Star Trek movies ever made. And it's not even a Star Trek movie. It's just so great. It's got an incredible cast with Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman right before Harry Potter. You know, I mean, this is a movie that blows me away every time I watch it. Sam Rockwell's in it.
It's rewatchable too.
Yes, it's rewatchable. It's funny.
You can watch it back to back, probably.
Rainn Wilson's in it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, there's so many little things that, like, so many little jokes even 20 years later that I find myself, like, didn't even pick up on that. And I gotta give a shout out to also Phantom Menace. I know it's not a great movie, but as a 6-year-old, I saw that thing 6 times in theaters.
Yeah.
I did too.
And it changed my life for a little bit. And then finding out, a few years later, like, watching it again and be like, this may not be the best.
This is
I
bad.
I think there are still great parts of it.
Yeah.
Darth Maul. I mean,
And Qui-Gon Jinn's awesome.
oh, who? I mean, and Ewan McGregor. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fantastic.
I told you guys I'd only mention a few, but I lied. Because I've got at least 10 here that I need to talk about. But I'm going to do it really quick. First of all, obviously, we did not talk about Fight Club. But yeah, the reason we're not talking about it is because that's the joke. I'm going to talk about, real quick, Talented Mr. Ripley.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow. It's a story about duplicity and sneakiness. And it's really great, really well acted. Should have won all the Oscars that year. I don't know why American Beauty won. Sixth Sense.
No.
What more can we say? I mean,
I don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. There's still some
spoilers.
people in the world who have no idea what the movie's about.
There's nothing I could say that people haven't already said about this movie. You got Magnolia,
Ooh,
Paul Thomas Anderson,
Tom Cruise.
Tom
so
Cruise,
good.
probably his best role ever.
absolutely.
Les Grossman, come on.
Boys Don't Cry, with Hilary Swank,
Hard to watch.
Chloe Sevigny. In the 90s, I was discovering that, late 90s, I was discovering that I really loved film and I wanted to be in filmmaking. And Boys Don't Cry was one of the movies. And I was just like, this movie is awesome. I want to make movies like this. And then you got Being John Malkovich, which is on the same
Oh, yeah.
same line.
Just
I don't
weird.
want to ruin it. Just watch it. I don't want to explain it. It's about being John Malkovich. And then you got Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman movie.
I was gonna
with
mention that
Jim
too,
Carrey.
yeah.
I really loved watching old clips of Andy Kaufman as a kid, and Jim Carrey was my favorite actor in the 90s. And this was just like a culmination of both those things. But then you got The Mummy.
Of course.
The Mummy is fantastic.
It's awesome.
It's so fun.
And then my pick, sorry, took forever. One of my 2 picks is Ravenous. And this movie has Guy Pearce. It's got a bunch of other people, David Arquette. And it takes place in like Civil War era. And they're up in like Montana and North Dakota. And they're stuck at this fort. And they find out there's like cannibals. And so then all this crazy stuff happens. And the whole time you're like, what is going on? And the way it's shot, it's very frenetic and energetic and crazy. It's like a Sam Raimi movie on crack. Is the best
Oh
way
my
to
god,
describe
that
it.
sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then finally, the reason we did this whole episode is, you probably guessed it, you took the pills. Took both of them. I don't know why you
the
took
same
both
time.
of them. The Matrix.
Yeah, The Matrix. This is not an exaggeration. The Matrix like kind of changed my life
Yeah. It really
in a weird. I mean, not like in a positive way probably, but it's more of just like nothing. I remember like watching it and nothing was the same.
Yeah.
It ruined action movies because it's just
it
so.
It ruined. No, it didn't just ruin
nothing's-
action movies. It ruined pop culture for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Matrix is at all times it was corny.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was kind of wacky.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of revolutionary.
Yeah. And philosophical. Like
And
all
philosophical.
like all rolled into one.
And really, really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if your dad didn't do an Agent Smith impression after this movie, what were you even doing in 1999?
Or if they didn't buy the glasses.
Or if you didn't,
Yeah.
if they didn't as a joke buy glasses that weren't really glasses, but just glasses to put over your glasses. I mean, like you weren't even living.
I'm going back in,
Oh,
guys.
you're going back in? Wow.
Going back in.
Well, hey, I guess we'll see you for Avengers.
Yeah.
See you
Oh
next
yeah, that's
week.
right. Next week. All right. See ya.
Well, I guess we're.
Oh wow! Spoilers for the end game.
Un esercito di prodi da me guidato.
Hey there, one more film we forgot to talk about is Three Kings, starring George Clooney, Ice Cube, and Mark Wahlberg. This movie is awesome, and that's all I gotta say because we're running out of time. Bye.